Carlos Gimenez. Congressman, thank you for being here. Now, the White House was late to address what they really should have known was coming. They had a lot of information, intel that it was coming. New York mayor has just declared a state of emergency in this city. There have been 39 tons of formula that arrived on Sunday, but that's only going to help a fraction of the families needed. How is all of this affecting your constituents?
Well, all the constituents that need baby formula, they're not finding it. They're going from place to place to place to place, looking for it. And not only are they not finding it, but then also they're wasting all the gas, which is now at record levels. So it's a double whammy. They're wasting gas, they're wasting money, and then they're having real difficulty in finding the baby formula that they need.
Are our children, American children, really going to go hungry as a result of this?
I mean, I'm not sure they're going to go hungry, but the babies are not going to end up with a formula that they really need to have. And some of them will have allergies, et cetera, so they're going to have to find some kind of a substitute. I would certainly hope that our children don't go hungry. This is third world country kind of stuff.
It is.
And you know what? There's no reason why it should have happened. Once the FDA knew that the Abbott factory was shutting down and it was basically the only source in the country, they should have started looking for other baby formula manufacturers around the world. Basically what they just did. But they again, a dollar, a day late, dollar short, and all that. And so they are so incompetent. This administration, incompetency is par for the course.
Well, and
they should have known it. Yeah, and they should have done something about it and made contingency plans. And then they go, hey, now we're short of baby formula. What we're going to do now? Well, it's a little bit late.
And well, it's not only late, but now they're starting to blame others rather than themselves. Nancy Pelosi came out the other day in front of a camera with no evidence, presented no evidence. She said, I think somebody's going to be indicted. Do you think she was just pulling that out of the air?
Yeah, well, because this is not like Harry Truman where the buck stops here.
No.
Okay, the buck stops somewhere else. Okay, with this administration, never with themselves, never with their incompetency. All the crises that we're facing right now, the gas, inflation, the border, all of it, and now the baby formula. All of it is of their own making. And even though they don't produce the baby formula, the FDA was the one that shut down the plant. The FDA knew that this was coming. The FDA needed to have contingency plans. They had no contingency plans. We find ourselves in our mess now. And now, of course, the Democrats are going to point fingers all over the place, except where it really belongs, right at them.
Well, it's not working. The public's not buying it. Even the left-wing media is not buying it. I was kind of shocked to see them not only admit but put the blame on the Biden administration over the weekend. Here's one example from ABC. Roll tape.
And the baby formula issue is shocking to Americans. It's shocking. The political ramifications of it are profound. This can't be our country, where babies are at risk of dying. I mean, if this goes on for a few more weeks, it's possible we're going to lose someone in this country because of this. The Biden administration knew about it in February. Whatever came afterwards, whatever the investigations determined, the buck stops in the Oval Office.
He sounds like a right-wing extremist. I mean, as a member of the mainstream media. And I mean, if the Democrats have lost that contingent, who do they have?
Well, listen, these are the same people that sold us this bill of goods, how competent this president was, how this president's going to unite us all. Well, he actually has. He's actually united us, okay? The entire country's against this president, against this administration, against these woke, far-left policies that are actually driving this country into the ground. And so, I don't have much sympathy for ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, all of those that sold us this president, and still covering for him as much as they can. But look, it's indefensible. It's no longer defensible. The world can see that this president and his administration is completely incompetent. And so they want to save a little bit of the, reputation that they may have, although most of it is torn to shreds by now, so that they become relevant again. Because actually, the mainstream media is irrelevant at this point. Nobody believes anything they say, and rightly so, because they've been wrong at every turn about this president and they've been feeding us a bunch of lies for the last 4 years.
Now, another group that has lost confidence in the president and Democrats in general are a group you're very familiar with, the Hispanic voters in the United States. Only 60% of them now disapprove of the president. I think it's 26% approval. Yeah, 26% approval. Those numbers are exactly reversed from where they were about a year and a half ago when Biden became president. So what does this mean for the midterms?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
what
the
does
last
this
question.
mean for the midterms? You not only have that group, you also, by the way, have independents, the largest single voting bloc in America. Independents, 72% of independents now disapprove of the job Biden is doing. So if you don't have your regular constituents, the Latino voters, if you don't have independents, doesn't that mean there's just going to be an enormous sweep in November and they lose both houses of Congress?
We think so. We believe so. There's the old adage, you can't fool all the people all the time. And so that's coming home to roost. And Hispanics and the Republican Party hold the same values. We are people of faith. We believe in law and order. We believe in hard work. And we don't, buy the baloney that's been fed to us for the last, 4 years. And so finally, a lot of us are waking up and seeing what the truth is. And the truth is that this president is a disaster, and it's leading this country, down the tubes. And we're patriotic. We're not going to allow that to happen.
I'm getting a wrap, but I have to ask one final question, which is that even if Republicans take over both houses of Congress, you're still going to have a president in power who, through regulatory authority, can do a lot of damage, as we've already seen in energy and other things. Could a new Congress somehow hold him accountable to pull back some of those regulatory powers that he now has and uses?
We have the power of the purse, and so we can stop a lot of the things that he may want to do. But in the end of the day, we're going to need a new president in 2024 to get this country back on the right track, because the president does have an enormous amount of power. And we're also going to need 60 senators in the Senate to get a lot of the stuff that we want done. But in the end, we're going to need a new president in 2024.
Congressman Carlos Gimenez, good to see you, sir. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Well, Fox